Hey YouTube, this is Garrico Kaiser. We're going to have a open-handed video here. The point of these videos is to play the game open-handed from both sides, have the moves explained so that you can hopefully get some insight out of it and just be entertained by watching the two decks. Alright, so we're going to have this time Royal Paladins and Soul Charge Royal Paladins actually, and Spike Brothers. So, because a lot of people want to see the Soul Charge Royal Paladin deck in action and see how its deck works and its combos. So, here we go. Alright. Royal Paladin's starting hand. It's pretty good. We got one of each grade and only one trigger to reshuffle. Fortunately, we only have one grade 1, but we'll hopefully draw more. So we'll put back the one move. It's not a big deal that we have to ride Flash Shield because we play 4 of them. We're probably going to get another one somewhere later. And because this deck has 16 grade 1s, we'll probably draw one. Not definitely, but there's a good chance we will. So the redraw is the Blaster Blade. Not another grade 1, whatever. Spike Brothers. They also have a pretty good hand. They got a 1, 2, and 3, and 1 trigger. So pretty much same scenario. Shuffle back 1. Redraw into another critical. Alright, Royal Paladins will be starting. We also drew into a critical. We'll have one option. Ride, and then use Sparkle skill to call Flogel. And then end turn. Spike Brother starts off. Another trigger. That sucks. But we can still ride the Wonder Boy. And start attacking. Wonder Boy attacks for 8. No guard by Paladins, we need the damage. Drive check. An Emperor. 1 damage dealt. Draw trigger. Power and draw. Well, Paladin's turn. Barkle stands. Draw. Alright. Skip the ride phase since we're going to use the combo with Lou and everyone. Call Lou. Counterblast. It's a shame we don't have a Pegasus Knight right now to combo off here. And next we're going to be able to drop him as the Vanguard next turn. So we want to have Baron ready to start powering up. So let's call the Baron, and let's call a Knight of Determination. Get aggro from the beginning because this deck hits hard, so push your opponent early and you'll be able to finish them off quicker. Alright, we'll attack with Baron first. since they're right now currently even, so if they hit even one trigger, the Baron wouldn't be able to attack. So we'll have him attack first. Let's see. Spike Brothers, we got 3, or 2, 0. We don't really need a guard, especially if we were hoping if we get a trigger, the boost will probably Vanguard so that none of the other 2 attacks hit without hitting another trigger. So no guard. Damage, no trigger. Blaster Boy attacks now. We can 10 guard this. That way, because we've already got enough that we can use the coach. If we 10 guard this, he can't trigger hit us with a crit. And then even if he hit another crit and gave it to the other guy, we could 10 guard that one too. And it's good to hold back damage early game, because late game you can it makes it a lot easier on yourself if you block the attacks when they were easier to block, as opposed to the field to when his field's full and he's attacking for his big numbers. So we can guard for 10 now. Drive check. The other part is we have enough damage that it's equal right now, so even if we hit heal triggers, we could still do it. So it's a balance of making sure all of your triggers are alive and keeping the damage low early. Attack for 10. Yeah, we can block this one because there's no point in trying to get a trigger right now. All the other attacks are finished. So now it's back to the Spike Brothers. Draw for turn. Another trigger. It'd be nice to actually hit them. Ride Bracky. Counter Blast for the coach. Let's see the hand. Since we're up against Royal Paladins, they don't really have 11Ks, and because, yeah, let's go get a Reckless Express to use as a booster. The reason I would choose him over the Wonder Boy right now is because we don't have to worry about the opponent having 11Ks. They're just going to be 10s at most. So if we get Reckless Express, he'll act as a booster enough to hit sweet spots, and if we need him to be, we'll be able to move him forward later to set off the combo and have him do the attacks and then get off the field. We gotta start attacking early with this deck, and Paladins have already started attacking heavy, so let's try to even it out. This deck plays no stand triggers, so we'll have the Vanguard Bracky attack first. Royal Paladins, I don't believe will guard. All we really have right now is Lou, because we're not going to waste this yet. So let's not guard that, since we could always, if he hit a trigger, give it to the other Bracky anyway. Check, crit, crit here, power here. 2 damage is dealt. No triggers. The other Bracky now can attack for 16 plus 5, so 21. No guard against that, it's too difficult. Take the damage, heal trigger, heal 1. And now Spike Brothers' turn is over. Back to the Paladins. Draw for turn. Cool, Pegasus Knight. It's a turn late, but we'll still get everything going. So we'll ride the Demon Slaying Knight. Start the main phase by soul charging. Since we soul charged, Baron powers up to 11. We'll team Baron up with Pegasus, so that from this turn on they're going to be a team of 20 every turn because they're going to soul charge. And from that point on we can start attacking. We won't really have any other real boosters to play out. So we'll start by having Baron and Pegasus attack for a team of 17 with the Vanguard. Let's see. Again, we're not going to guard because we need to try and hit a trigger to boost to see if it'll make it easier on ourselves, and we've been more worried about the next two attacks when crits are more likely to hit, so we're not going to guard that, especially since it's the biggest attack of the turn. Damage check, no trigger. Demon Slaying Knight attacks for 12. Let's 10 guard that. Drive check. Stand trigger. Stand the Baron and give him the boost. Second check. Draw trigger. Part of the Night of Determination and draw 1. That was ridiculous for a Paladin's really plussed off that trigger check. Right? Baron attacks a Vanguard for 16. At this point, we're not even going to bother. Take the damage. Heal trigger. Can't heal. We can power up our Vanguard to 14. Now the Determination attacks for 15. We need to conserve our hand for our combos, especially since it's getting low, so no guard. And now it's back to the Spike Brothers. Spike Brothers are in a really bad spot here. They need some triggers to start going off to get them back in the game. Yet we keep drawing them. Right, Emperor. Yeah, this time, and we have enough that we can have the Emperor help us get more aggressive now. So we'll start by having Emperor attack and use his limit break. Put these two into the soul to call out. Juggernaut and Medical Manager. We're choosing Juggernaut because it'll be one less grade 3 to check, since checking grade 3 sucks, and because he's a combo piece for the dex moves. Like, assuming we have everything on the field next turn, we can, when we take at least 1 damage, we'll be able to go off for the dex combo. And then Medical Trainer was chosen because it didn't matter really what booster we gave him right now, but because we just drew a trigger for a turn, it's less likely that we're going to hit another trigger right now, so we're probably going to soul charge a non-trigger and make it more likely to hit a trigger. So soul charge, no trigger, like I said. Alright, so do Royal Paladins want to block the Deadly Emperor's attack of 10,000? It's not likely that they'll double crit us for games since we've drawn so many, but the other two attacks this turn will be more difficult to block. So let's try and block this one. We'll block for 10. Alright, so drive check. No trigger. Second check. Draw trigger. Give the power to, it don't really matter to Bracky. Draw 1. We really need that trigger. That was very helpful. Alright. Juggernaut now attacks for 18 to the Vanguard. At this point, we can't heal trigger. We want to try and get the damage at least equal, so on our turn, we'd be able to heal. That'll make the next attack easier to block too. We have a lot of shield in the hand, but let's conserve this. We'll let the attack hit. Or no, we shouldn't. This one we can block for 10. The next attack we should let hit. We'll 10 guard that attack. And now when Bracky attacks with his boost from the trigger and Reckless, So he's attacking for 21. We'll let this attack hit. Good, we didn't want to draw it anyway. We're on Paladin's turn. Stand and draw. Yeah, we still drew it anyway. Alright. Soul Charge for Demon. Baron powers up. Pegasus powers up. Alright, we could do a lot of aggressive push this game. Not time to drop the Soul Savior yet, because they're at 4. It's a little bit better to wait till they're in the corner, then Soul Savior to make sure you finish them off. So, let's start by, we'll call Margot here, so that the Vanguard will hit 16 and they would have to 10. And then we don't really have any other boosters we can give the Knight of Determination yet, so we'll start attacking. Pegasus, who's at 9, teams it with the Baron, who's at 11, and attacks for 20. Not a very good defensive hand for Spike Bros. It's going to be more difficult to block this attack than the others. We should let it go through. Hits. Heal trigger. Really needed that. Part the Vanguard and heal 1. So Vanguard's now at 15. Demon Slaying. Attacks for 16 now. We're at 15 and we don't want to lose our crit, so let's 10 guard it. Drive a check. Really? Second check. No triggers. Now Determination. Attacks for 10 at Bracky since he's an interceptor and a combo piece. We need to get him out of the way. And we're going to protect Bracky with our draw trigger. So now that we have what we need to go for our big combo this turn. Draw for turn. Alright, first we're going to call this draw trigger so that the Vanguard will have enough that they'll have to 10 guard against it. So we're going to have as aggressive as a turn as we can. We'll start by having Bracky attack and we'll Soul Blast. So he attacks for 14 at the Knight of at the Sage, since he's an interceptor and he could get in the way anyway. Plus he's part of this deck's combo. So getting him off the field will be helpful. With an aggressive as a turn, as Spike Bear is about to have, I can't really waste cards, defending cards we don't need. But Baron's pretty important. We don't need this Blaster Blade in our hand really. We'll guard with Blaster Blade. Or no, that won't be enough. Yeah, we can't afford to keep the Baron alive. Baron's gotta go. Now Bracky returns to the deck. Juggernaut now attacks for 18, or not 18, attacks for 11, Soul Blasting up to 16 to the Vanguard. This attack is relatively easy to block. We'll 10 guard it. He returns. Now Emperor attacks, boosted, and with his own effect it will be up to 18, and we use his Limit Break and call out Juggernaut. Because of our odds are not good this game of being able to hit a crit, we're going to call out another Juggernaut, I guess. Right, so since they could still hit a crit, we don't just want to flat out lose to a crit right now. But Royal Paladins doesn't have that much defense. We've drawn a lot of grade 3s. Because each Juggernaut attack is going to take would take at least 15 guard to block each of them. We can't really worry about if the Vanguard's going to check a crit. If they do, we're going to lose either way, because we only have 15 guard in the hand, 5 on the field, so that's 20, and then 1 perfect guard. To hit a crit, it's going to do it anyway, so we can't worry about it. There's nothing we can do. Drive check, no trigger. Second check, no trigger. Royal Paladins get lucky. Damage check. Alright. Juggernaut now attacks for 18. We want to try and finish the game off, so we'll Soul Blast. So it goes up to 23. So Royal Paladins will have to, let's see here, guard for 5, 10, 15. So we can survive that attack. Juggernaut returns. The other Juggernaut attacks now for 18, Soul Blasting up to 23. Trying to finish the game off. And we'll have to perfect guard it to stay in there. So the Juggernaut returns. Spike Brothers attacked 5 times that turn and only dealt 1 damage. Man, that's crazy. It attacks for 18, 16, 16, 23, and 23, and only 1 damage. Royal Paladins didn't even have that defensive of a hand. Alright. Since Spike Bros only checked 10 shield, it looks like it's going to be Royal Paladins win on this turn. Stand and draw. We also have enough that we can use his Mega Blast if his attack were to hit. Draw. Alright. I don't think we're going to ride the Soul Savior because you only got the 10, so the power boost will be kind of irrelevant. We don't really need it. They'll only be able to block like a attack anyway, so blocking 1 out of 3 is enough that it's still game. So we'll start by Soul Charging. Pegasus Knight powers up. So he's at 9. We'll call Blaster Blade. His Counter Blast, I want to activate it right now, even though it's a sure thing. There's no point. I think the threat of his attack is even scarier, so we'll keep the soul in there. There, the damage face up. Call the other knight. We'll start by having this knight attack, because even as the rear guard, if his attack hits, it'll go off. So, with only a 10k hand, and there's going to be 2 attacks by Demon Knight, so there's no point even messing around. We'll let it hit. Not even a trigger, so it's pretty much over. The Demon Knight can activate now. Soul Blasting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Counter Blast 5. And all 3 rear guard retire. Oops. Alright. And now the Vanguard attacks for 16. Again, no point even trying. Spike Bears needs a heal trigger to even stay alive. Nope. That's game.